The recording.
It's of everything we're doing and saying tonight.
Oh.
So now we're done talking about things that aren't D&D, mostly.
So a party of somewhat bedraggled but really good-looking adventurers go into the Black Squid.
You all meet in a tavern.
Oh, crap! Throw your weapons!
I attack the darkness.
It's a black squid.
Banwar the Gold goes into the Black Squid with you guys.
Ninja squid!
It's pretty dark in here, but Banwar goes up to the bar and says, Povar, where are you? And a guy comes out from behind the counter. He's human. He's got a big beard. He might have a little bit of elvish blood in him. He's not as tall as you might expect. Looks a little grumpy. You okay there? What do you...
Yeah.
No?
I'm doing math.
Okay.
Your math face is really weird, dude.
So Povar says, welcome, Banwar, what can I get for you? Who are your friends?
One quick question.
Certainly.
Am I remembering correctly that last week at some point we questioned somebody who mentioned an orc having been in town at the Black Squid?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay. Does anybody want to take this? Tursil's going to order apple brandy all around.
Brandy sounds good.
Brandy. You will drink this brandy, but it's a drink. Throwing that out there.
Welcome one and all to the Black Squid Tavern, the finest accommodations in Hereford. I will be happy to let you dine under my roof. We have a tradition here at the Black Squid. Will you be staying with us this evening?
We've not yet made up our minds.
Well, all who want hospitality to the Black Squid, we ask to bring up a bucket of well water from the cellar.
That's it?
That's it.
What's the cellar?
Can we do that as a group?
We also charge.
No. I mean, I got that part. I mean, what's in the cellar?
Our well.
Do we have to do that one at a time?
There's only the one bucket.
These rich-looking brave guys are really weird about getting water.
We've met Thea.
If Octavia steps forward, I volunteer to brave the cellar.
I volunteer as tribute.
He sort of looks at you, finally recognizing you from the back of the crowd, and says, good morrow, ma'am. He's guessing. He gathers that he's correct.
It's really hard to sex reptiles.
And I know not whether I will stay here, but I will gladly gather you water.
I know. He says, very well, I'll go get the bucket. In the meantime, Banwar, have a seat with our guests. I'll start getting the drinks ready. I'll bring the bucket out. He comes back out with a wooden bucket that's wrapped in iron bands, but it looks like over the years he's been sort of hammering silver coins onto the iron bands to sort of silver plate the two bands, just to make it fancy looking. He says, here's our bucket. The stone well is in the basement, down those stairs.
Octavia will say, thank you, my good man, and draw her sword dramatically.
Whoa!
We want no trouble here.
It's the bucket brigade.
It's a phalanx of pails.
Povar's sort of watching you guys take your seats with Banwar, and he says, okay. So the shed's burned down, but we recently salted down a bulette that was marauding in the cornfields. We got some fresh steaks from that, some late fall squash. I've got some spices.
What's a bulette?
It's a land shark, isn't it?
Yeah, Bree knows what a bulette is.
Okay.
Bree almost got eaten by two of them
It seems only fair.
on the same day.
Serially or in parallel?
What's that, Bree? No?
Serially or in parallel?
Serially. They were side by side though, in parallel. It was in that sand room with the mummies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those lads.
I have no recollection of this event.
Think about a cross between a shark and an armadillo and a mole crab. Star
Horseshoe
nose.
crab?
No, the thing that
Star-nose
digs.
mole.
Yeah, the moles, mole rats.
Star-nose mole.
Yeah,
Naked mole rats.
naked
Yeah.
mole rats.
Oh.
Anyway, 'cause I'll warm up some steaks. I guess that's 7-8 plates for lunch.
I'll stick with the roasted squash. Don't worry.
The squash comes with
Well,
it's
Don't worry, I'll leave
just
your
the
steak.
squash. Just the squash.
Worry not, my lord.
Vegetarian option.
That's fine. Just the squash.
same thing here.
Oh, you too?
Yes.
Okay. What happened?
I think I forgot.
Went to sleep because I hadn't done anything.
Jerusalem says, I'm sorry to hear about your shed. What happened?
It was a
Dark and stormy night.
dark night anyway, not terribly stormy. Come out, middle of the night, find the place engulfed in flames, managed to throw enough water on it. Of course, our friends in the hillside came out and helped and put it out. They helped put it down, but there was nothing for it. By the time we saw it burning, it was gone. I still haven't figured out what caused it. Of course, I've got my suspicions. He sort of casts a baleful eye at the door, like he's trying to look across the street.
Personal corporate espionage?
What's corporate espionage?
I don't know about
I'm
that.
sure it would take a.
Do you think it was them as owned the other tavern in town?
As I said,
Octavia will come back up the steps and go, the first bucket!
Octavia, down in the cellar, you found a
Nice try. I'm just
Large.
skipping over whatever's in the cellar. That was good.
solid. Down in the cellar, you find a. You know what? I won't ruin the surprise. Wow. Is that better? Down in the cellar, you find
Good to know!
What did you find?
roll d20 for that.
What did you find?
Either a 19 or a 13.
A 19,
Yeah.
Octavia returns triumphantly with a bucket of water.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Huh.
What did you find?
A bucket of water, obviously.
A bucket of water.
Yeah,
And
but
so,
what else?
Ben, do you know why I was whispering in her ear?
so that
Oh.
she wouldn't tell
you
us.
Do you know why I was whispering in her ear? So does she.
A secret?
Someday we're gonna sit you down and explain the phrase "take a hint."
I know what it means, Ma.
Oh, the irony.
Secret?
Yes.
So can I.
Ooh,
I don't get
that
it.
wasn't nice.
How do you keep a 7-year-old in suspense?
Okay.
So,
You clip him onto his pants.
Unfortunately, sir, we don't have apple brandy. Not really any orchards around here.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
We've got Baerstun root ale, some sour cherry juice, tea, and a regular wheat beer that we make from the fruit of the fields here.
Well, my dwarven friend was always very fond of beer. Beer all around.
You're good.
Ale?
I'll have the cherry juice, please.
Okay. It's cherry juice.
That's a warrior's drink.
Ale's a little heartier.
Okay.
Tercio will make a face at Andrew and say, and everyone else will have ale.
I'm on duty.
The drinks are procured. What do people think? What do people think Xenia would order?
Xenia? Whatever's
Cosmo?
cheapest. We'll go with parsimonious here. Whatever's cheapest.
Xenia will have a glass of water, have a sip of it, and then start screaming, "I'm so drunk!"
She's a redhead.
Woo!
Let's perpetuate all the terrors.
He brings out Povar brings out a tray of drinks and says, "Quah, you won't catch me casting aspersions on anyone from around here, but I think lots of folk in town have a pretty good feel for who actually done it. It weren't no accident."
Hey, JR.
We had some other visitors come through town, folks less respectable than ourselves.
Hey, JR.
Yes, Noah?
Did Octavia ever come back?
Yeah, Octavia's back. She got a bucket just fine.
Okay.
And the bucket has water in it.
I'll go get a bucket.
Oh, Bree's gonna go get a bucket.
So, clarification, do we each have to go get a bucket of water?
Yeah,
Okay.
anyone who wants the hospitality of the place.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna continue getting buckets.
No, Stasi will
No.
take a turn.
No, it's each person.
Each person? Oh,
Stasi
okay.
totally wants it.
You only have to get one bucket.
Can I get Tercio's bucket as well?
No?
I will get my own bucket. I'm just talking to this nice gentleman.
All right, Walrus, you got a bucket. You're okay.
You can't
Does she not
have
know the memes?
bucket. She knows.
Okay.
That is not the face you would have gotten if she honestly thought you just called her a walrus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know the walrus bucket.
What were we discussing? Oh, disrespectable persons, unsavory characters.
Avery
No,
character.
I mean, no more unsavory folk than we always have in town.
Ooh.
I mean, we're the usual. Them of us what lives here, or those of us who's always here. We haven't had much change in the way of that. A couple visitors through now and again. No one I'd say is unsavory.
Well, that's good to hear. Who has been through? Maybe we know them. You know, adventurers, we tend to, trade back and forth, trade stories from the road.
Just travelers. We always hang out together.
What?
In the inns. I just,
In a tavern. Do you meet up in a tavern? You
Yeah.
exchange stories?
Well, we've only got one other guest staying here. Tell you what, I'll ring up to his room and bring him down. Hang on a moment. He heads back into the kitchen. You hear a bell ding a couple times.
Tercio is going to quietly put his hand on Thea's shoulder and is sort of a don't freak out kind of moment.
I heard a bell ding, but I think we're okay unless we hear a zack and a screech.
Oh.
I was working on that one. Nice job on getting to it first.
Thank you. This is why JR didn't want us to play together.
If we hear sparks going off and a scream, then we're living in the Bulgariad series.
I'm
A brawl temple.
gonna call my aunt Paul.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm great.
Okay.
No,
So,
I'm passing notes.
oh, okay.
Honey, sponges.
Ah.
Ben, go
Boo of
upstairs.
my heart. It is 8:30. Okay.
Hey, night, Benjamin.
Good night, Ben.
And
Night, Ben. When Tercio goes downstairs for his bucket, I'm going to accompany him to get mine.
Oh, for crying out loud.
There's
bucket.
only the one bucket there.
I said I was going.
So,
Yeah, Bree's on
so
her way
it's
right
two
now.
Eladrin, one bucket?
No.
no.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Let's
Wow,
be really
that
clear
was the
about
promptest veto in party history. Literally, Bree has set his cloak on fire and gotten less prompt vetoes.
Yeah.
Her.
Because that was actually a
That's what I
reasonable
said.
plan at the time.
Yeah. Banwar's sitting with you guys. You can see the smoke billowing up out of the kitchen. The cook fire is stoked. Banwar says, "So, what are you guys doing here in Hereford?"
Oh, we're passing through. We just came down the coast, and we thought we'd head inland to the other side of the peninsula.
Down the coast from where?
Oh gosh, I don't know. One little fishing village to another. They all tend to look alike after a while.
I'm just wondering what takes folk like you out on the. I mean, I've got a fair measure of civic pride in Hereford, but I know enough and seen enough to understand that folk with your means don't often choose to take a leisurely stroll through Hereford in the middle of the day.
And isn't that the problem? Don't more people need to know what it's like out in the countryside? People can't just be all shut up in their houses, counting their money, and
Sergio is like
the plight of
waxing.
the common man.
Roll it up. I don't even know what you're doing, but roll it.
As Sergio is talking,
Really?
yeah,
Give me a
she
number.
don't like people talking about their money.
Yeah,
Ish?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. You know, it really is. It's a shame that more people don't get a good look at Hereford. I think it'd sure change how the big powers, thinking they can just, reach their hand into our pockets from across the water and take what they like, and it's a darn shame.
Exactly. People need to get to know the country. You gotta know the territory.
Streetwise,
Yes.
streetwise, nature, or intimidate to roll your eyes.
No, it's your eyeballs that roll.
Nice.
Oh.
So Noah, I'm gonna need a D20 roll from Bree.
By the way.
I'm just a wandering monk. I wander. It's a thing we do.
And you're wondering with these folk?
They seem like nice enough folk, and you never know what's out there. You might meet a big lass with an axe.
She looks like desert folk, ma'am. You're from out in the desert, aren't you?
Well, that's racist.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, Thea is not inclined to answer, not because she's not from out in the desert, but because this dude has already made allusions to their money, and that makes her uncomfortable.
To whose mind? What?
People of our means. You said it.
Yeah, definitely. To be fair, your axe is probably worth more money than he'll see in the next 5 years.
Yeah, which to
A
Thea,
real life example, the cost of a suit of arms, in the Middle Ages, is an astronomical amount compared to the wages of a common farmer. Wages, I would say. The income of
all these things are true.
to see anybody wearing armor is basically like seeing someone who is obviously.
Yeah. He's a startup entrepreneur. He's only worth $3 million.
Just saying.
Yeah. So Noah, did I get your D20 roll? Did you?
Yeah, it's in the
There
game.
it is. Yeah. Okay.
Do that.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay. Fandrum. Nothing fishy appears to be going on. You do not perceive anyone sneaking around. Note well that perception is for your physical senses and not so much sensing your motive. So on the subject of whether Banwar is completely on the up and up, I will remain silent.
Got it.
But as for what you can see and hear, no, doesn't appear like someone's trying to cover for Povar poisoning your food or anything sneaky like that. There's no landmines, no bear traps. Bree returns from downstairs with a bucket of well water, takes it back into the kitchen, pours it into The big cauldron, like the guy asked, comes back with an empty bucket.
Stazi's turn.
Okay.
Really into getting this water.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me a
Stazi
d20.
slides down the banister, bounces off the wall.
Any particular modifiers with that, or just a raw d20?
Roll a d20, and I will. We can talk about what exactly we're going to do with that roll in a minute.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Did
You
that
hadn't
just
seen
happen?
the 3D
Yeah.
thing?
No, I had not seen that.
Yeah. David.
What had you not seen?
There was like an animation on the Roll20 thing of a D20 like skidding across the map and coming, and I hadn't seen that before.
I still have it. I'll take your word for it.
Well, I don't know if it shows up on everybody's
Really?
or just on David's. 'Cause David is the one.
Holy crap! All right.
It's not supported on Safari. I know.
And we're projecting David's screen, so we see his roll. So I guess he's got a thing that does that.
Yep. Dice rolls.
Yeah.
Okay. Stasi returns upstairs. Pours his bucket into the cauldron. The cauldron's getting rather full.
Well, Tursko says, well, in the interest of getting to know the local people and their customs, I suppose I'd better seat in my bucket of water.
Charmed. Rovar hands you the bucket. Wipes his hands off. Gets back to preparing the food. Tercio, roll me a d20, please.
I'm accompanying that guy downstairs.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Comes back upstairs with his bucket in the cauldron
Okay.
and hands it unceremoniously to Thandrum.
Thandrum, roll me up a d20. I'm going to send you down into the basement too, I gather.
Well.
So...
Kind of hit rock bottom with that joke.
Yeah.
Digging too deep?
Getting a roll. Oh.
Bargain basement.
Okay. I'm going to have to send you a quick note, Chris.
Oh, you rolled worse than I did. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So, Chris, you are going to come back up with a bucket, but I'm going to send you a note about the consequences of your actions in a moment.
Where should I be looking for this?
I'm going to send it to your email.
Okay.
One.
Whichever one comes up first in my thing.
But he does come back.
Yes.
Darn.
Well, yeah.
Whatever comes up first.
Yep. Okay.
I don't understand.
What's that?
6'1", I don't understand.
That's
I'm
that's.
answering Erica's question.
Oh, do you not understand that measurement?
That's the only email I've gotten. I was just
Oh, I just sent the other one. Yeah. Okay. So
You
as,
find 6 feet in the well.
And there's only one of you.
so as you guys are gathered around your table, an orc descends the stairs and walks out into the dining room. stops a couple steps into the room and looks at you guys for a second with his hands on his hips. Looks over at Banwar, sizes you guys up, and says, "Oh, Povar." Povar says, "What is it? Like, these folks eating with you?" He says, "Yes, they're guests." He says, "Banwar, would you mind if I join you and your friends for lunch?" Banwar says, "Well, I mean, it's fine by me, but my friend Terciel here actually was buying the drinks, and so I gather it's up to him." You see his glance is sort of moving, sort of hopping from person to person around the table. Who's down in the well getting water right now?
See, Vandrum came back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be Thea's turn.
It's
That might be
cool,
it.
but roll d20 won't let me play.
Oh.
It's giving me some support roll 20 welcome brave adventurer thing,
That's weird.
telling me that I have to upgrade my account.
No.
Did you use the link right to the campaign instead of going to the main page?
I sent her the link right to the campaign.
Okay.
Wait.
It's here.
Sounds like a phishing attempt.
Well,
Yeah.
wait. Now
Taylor's for D&D players.
and I did go right to the page. That happened.
Okay.
Oh no, I sent her the mashup link. Actually.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay. In the G chat, I just sent the second link. It's got the it's the last bit starts with IJ0 stuff. Yeah.
Just got it.
Okay.
So it's my turn to. So I gotta go get a bucket of water.
Did I tell you Lily Knapp failed?
Yeah. Okay, Sophia's going out to get a bucket of water.
Yep.
This guy walks in.
Can you describe him to us? Like, how is he dressed? Is he military?
Sure.
Does he have an eye of Vermouche anywhere on his person?
Does he have a silver hand?
He is not wearing an Eye of Rumsh. He doesn't appear to have a prosthetic silver hand. He's of medium height, wearing leather armor with scraps of chain in places. So he's got a chain shirt on under it and one chain glove, but it's hung on his belt. He's not wearing gloves right now. He's got a couple of belt pouches of various stuff. It looks like he's carrying swords. Pretty good boots. Good riding or hiking boots. Expensive and certainly not of Orcish manufacture. And his skin is green. He has both of his eyes. And his hair is cut fairly close. Fairly
specify this. He has both of his eyes.
Yeah.
Wow.
For the moment.
Looks fairly strong and alert. He's definitely on his toes when he catches a glimpse of all of you guys.
Oh, Ruprecht, you old chap, how have you been?
What?
Not really.
I didn't think so.
It's like, Andrew?
Have you been watching Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Good.
Oh.
I never stopped watching it.
I just watched it the other day.
Watch what?
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Ah.
All right, so there's an orc in the room.
There is an orc in the room. He had asked Banwar if he could sit down and join you guys for lunch. Banwar pitched it to Terciel.
No.
Does anyone have any strong opinions one way or the other? You're in the basement.
Why not?
No.
Okay,
He's a traveler, like us.
Terciel's gonna say, well, it's a common room, and gesture to a seat.
You just don't give comment.
No, it's a common room.
A seat.
Oh.
A seat at your table or a seat?
I'm assuming we've got the thing going on where like several tables have been pushed together and
Yeah.
there are seats about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I'm sorry, man. It's fine. I got 10
Did
of
we
them.
establish any rules of hospitality in this world
Mm,
that Terciel knows of?
Like if you eat somebody, you can't kill them for 24 hours or that kind of thing.
Well, if you eat somebody, it wouldn't be
Eat
very hard to
somebody?
kill them for 24 hours.
That's-
You know.
Hey.
If you kill somebody, you can't eat them for 24 hours.
What does Terciel know about etiquette in this country? Let's have a streetwise roll.
It's considered very rude to eat bagels.
Streetwise.
Did that count?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Keep it on the table. Don't
Well, I
roll
mean, I
one.
just sort of dropped it.
Yeah.
So that would be 15.
Um,
That's what I got there.
you don't know of any reason under the law other than don't kill people that he would that you would not be
Able to defend yourself?
so. It's always rude to try to kill people, but in this particular case, you can't think of any reason that it would be considered profane or sacrilege.
Okay.
It's within the bounds of possibility that swords might be drawn in a tower, as far as you know.
Okay.
He takes your gesture for a friendly invitation, grabs a stuffed chair, drags it over near you guys, sits down, and says, "Povar, have some of that root ale." Povar says, "I'll bring it right out, Dromak."
Romic, huh?
Dro-
Terciel.
Dromak Chainbreaker.
Oh,
Terciel.
Chainbreaker. I like that. That's a good nom name thing.
It's a good, strong name.
It's a good, strong name. Thank you. Why am I being stuck with the
Nom de
role-playing
guerre.
job?
Nom de guerre.
Let's not use war.
No.
It's a good, strong name.
Family name.
Breaker of chains and such like.
We have
What brings you to be traveling alone?
duty.
Really? I'm pretty sure Thandrum doesn't make that noise.
Duty causes many men to travel alone.
Says,
It's just that in my language, that's a phonetic match for who.
he looks at you and then sort of looks at Terciel again, and in
Terciel leans over and says, "He was dropped on his head as a child."
he hears Sandra make the thing, and then in a halting Yazdine accent actually says in Elvish to you guys, would you be more comfortable speaking Elvish?
Sure.
Quite.
No.
Thea,
Yes, I would like some duck.
Thea, you come up out of the basement with
My mother was an upstanding woman.
Thea, you come up out of the basement with a full bucket of water and see that an orc has pulled up a chair next to your friends and is talking to everybody and is speaking to Terciel and Thandrum in a Yazdine accent.
In Elvish.
In Elvish.
But no one has started killing each other yet.
Which means we should totally be in the town of what?
Do they speak Elvish and what?
They do speak Elvish in what?
Is Marcellus Wallace a lich?
Tia is incredibly confused.
I don't know how we get as much.
Like, really confused, guys. And upset. And she's going to immediately grab her axe and start striding purposefully towards the table, bucket still in the other hand, and someone should say something to her pretty quick.
You know, she's got a different sort of accent.
Dromak hops to his feet and says, and says in Elvish, "Hold, hold! I mean you no harm."
So, Thea's going to immediately look at her companions and be like, "The hell is going on here? And what are you all doing consorting with this spy?"
Wait, what's that, Thea?
He's going to accuse him of being a spy.
Accuse me of being a spy. You... The injustices and insults heaped upon Clan Chainbreaker by such as you.
Such as I?
Such as you, and I am made to sit peacefully under yet another one. Such as you have, you carry that axe well. He
Yeah.
just sort of fixes you.
You can't tell me why you're here bothering me and my friends. You're going to find out just how well I know how to carry it.
All right, simmer down, both of you.
He says, I'm not sure you understand what's going on here, ma'am. I am the law in this town. Until such time as a greater authority replaces me, I will decide who is bothering whom and what punishments should be meted out. Please, set your axe down.
Dandrum draws his spear and gets between the two of them facing Thea.
Yeah, because it's going down, man. It's going all the way down.
You have no reason to violate this person's guest right.
Have we not had enough trouble with orcs and traitors on this adventure?
I didn't have
I come
any
upstairs
trouble with the last
and
orc
give
we
you
met.
water, which is a totally stupid thing to do, only to find you all talking to someone. Who is this person?
Well, I'm sure that's what we could find out if everybody would just sheathe their weapons for 5 minutes.
I'm not sheathing a thing.
I think he said his name was Gromach Chainbreaker.
Gromach Chainbreaker of the
I
Chainbreaker
didn't ask
clan.
you what his name was. I asked you who he is.
And
Is she
actually,
always this spicy?
despite the coarseness of the inquiry, it's not an unusual question. By whose authority are you the current legal?
Blah, 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 this town. So anyone can just walk up to us in any town now and tell us they're in charge?
Thea, what would Lenora say right now? That's what I thought.
But Lenora's not here.
Oh my God! Really?
He says, Lenora, you say. I am Dromach Chainbreaker, Junior Sergeant, 1302nd Dragoons Regiment, Boer Company, under Sergeant Farrand, Lieutenant Deagol, answerable to Thurig Silverhand, Baron of the Peninsula.
Ooh, Baron. I like it.
Fancy title.
What's a Baron?
It's a nobleman who can't have any kids.
Huh?
I'm...
She stops. She doesn't know.
I'm
And that's
assigned...
distressful. We're great
As a
together.
non-Thea aside, Jimmy should be in timeout right now for that.
What's that?
I said as a non-Thea aside, Jenny should be in timeout for that.
Jenny, yeah, no, it's cool. That was good. That was solid. He says, by Thurig Silverhand's law, I am here to provide justice, settle claims against injustice wherever I find it, and keep the peace, which I swear by all that is holy I am trying to do.
I thought we were having squash.
Thea, what's Fozzie? Fonzie?
Cool.
Correctamundo.
Does he
Now we're
look
all going to be like Fonzie.
You speak well, Orc, and if my comrades are willing to hear you out and let you sit at this table, then I will put my weapon down, but I'm not sheathing anything.
That's actually not unusual for her. You should see what she does at breakfast.
Dude,
No.
it's the worst.
There is something in your way of speaking I find familiar.
Well, if you know about the Yazina of the Caliphate, then you know exactly where I'm coming from. And then you know about my people, and you know that I'm not a gang.
Did you say you know that I'm not gay?
Game.
That I'm not a gang.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought you said I'm not in a gang. So I.
He says,
He uses some Elvish word that apparently means a slightly different thing in every single dialect.
says,
Yeah, but he picks up on exactly what she means. She means not so frightened.
Yes.
You're-
Oh God, yes.
says
I actually tried to invoke Lenora to calm her down.
your Yazdine way of speaking is familiar to me.
I know.
Your Yazdine way of speaking is familiar and also frequently interrupted when we speak Yazdine. Your Yazdine way of speaking is familiar to me. So I venture that you may know some of Clan Chainbreaker as well.
I'm familiar.
Does anybody want to fill in the rest of the class, or are we just going to stand here and glower at each other?
Let's see. Tercio maybe knows. Trying to figure out who knows. Bree. I'm trying to think of who's involved in all that whole mess.
Wasn't Bree from the Caliphate?
Which whole
No,
mess?
Bree came through the Caliphate on her way.
Ah.
The whole
Bree's kind of from east of the sun and west of the moon.
the whole political mess, the whole war thing.
Oh. That would have been Lenora.
Yeah.
How about Xenia would probably know what is what? No, Xenia doesn't know? Have we got an entire party of people who have no idea what's going on?
Thea knows why his last name is Chainbreaker.
I'm assuming escaped slave? Free slave? Hate blacksmiths?
Freed, perhaps, is a really nice way of putting it. Escaped leaves out a lot of the kinetics of the whole thing. Yeah, it was.
Well, if you're
I don't
engaging in
know.
slavery,
Someone's
is-
making a clicking thumping
That is
noise.
Winona's computer. That
Okay.
does the thump.
Okay.
Sorry.
Blendy kitchen noises are Noah. Thumping is Winona.
All right.
breathing hard is Brian.
Yes.
I can't even believe it's so loud on you all then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Terciel's opinion is basically that if you're talking about slaves, there's no such thing as escape. There's only liberation. We went through this with the press gangs.
Exactly. The Chainbreaker clan, not surprisingly, see eye to eye with you on this issue.
Yeah. Thea, don't make me side with the orc. Come on.
Thea is home for Thea, but she is very wary.
He says, please,
Harry.
have a seat.
Harry.
I'll buy you the finest drinks that Povar here can provide us as a gesture of goodwill.
Sandrum wants milk. That guy. No,
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's probably what he wants.
There are goats out back if he is so inclined.
That sounds perfect.
He says, Povar, has your herd been milked today? Povar hollers back, I don't think so. No.
Actually, he prefers to do his own goat milking.
I would send him out with a mug if that's what he's interested in. Povar comes out, brings Thandrum a big, tall mug, brings out everyone else's drinks, says, so I won't be needing to clean up any blood spills?
Doesn't look like it.
Depends on how rare your steaks are.
I'll cook the bullets a little, I'll cook them till they're nice and olive green.
So right.
That had been when the video chose to froze.
So Dromuk's fiddling with a belt pouch at his hip, sort of nervously, and you guys hear sort of a soft crunching noise at one point, and then he says, "Hereford, what an odd place to come across 7 such as you. I don't recognize all of you. Are you the ones from Elkridge?"
Oh,
We've been to Elkridge.
we figure 7 is a pretty lucky number for travelers.
Okay. Tercio, you feel the southwesterly breeze pick up a little bit for a moment, even here in the room.
Do I have any idea how to interpret that?
I don't know. Do you have
All
any?
goats now.
Can I roll a nature check?
You can.
Okay. It's a lot. It's 34, 35, 35.
While the wind is blowing, well, the breeze that has just come through the hall is southwesterly. The prevailing winds are to the east. They're bringing snow in out off the mountains. There must be a backdraft, or maybe Povar's opened a door in the kitchen, but it's unusual, unnatural even. He sort of dusts off his uniform and says, "So 7 traveling together, but well, you must understand. I'm going from town to town. I've heard you, Terciel, looks around and says, the small one. No, the other small one. You're the wizard, Bree.
Indeed.
The famous Bree. Your courage is,
Breathing crazy.
SMRT.
SMRT?
Mm-hmm. I was given that title by the town of
7 mils.
In the
Seven
in the
Mills.
city of 7 Mills.
Yeah.
So, when were you in 7 Mills? He looks very puzzled. He clearly hasn't heard this part of the tale.
I've never been to 7 mils.
Buy me a drink and I'll tell you.
Certainly.
Bree, you have a boyfriend.
A mighty fight orc. Why don't you back that?
He's looking at Bree very strangely, and then he says, "Which makes you," and he looks back at Thea, "Thea half-elven. You are Yazdeen."
Yes, I am.
No, she's Thea.
From the lands outside of Yazdi.
Where is Stasi from? Why
The
don't you know
monastery.
this
He's
stuff?
cloistered.
I've got. Oh.
And then he became itinerant recently.
He says, "How is it, Ms. Half-Elven, that you come to carry a weapon? I've met other...
Have you met her?
I have. I've met uncles, fathers, grandfathers, brothers, and sons from her family. Fought with some of them. Not against, mind you, with. Never once have I met anyone from her family."
Well, then it's safe to say I'm the only one. Uh-oh.
I imagine your uncle.
Just a second. I went out on the porch.
Everybody in
That I must hear.
Wait, is everybody here?
No, but I've heard about it in the tavern.
Yes.
What?
Well, this will be an interesting story.
So let me tell you what Stasi heard in the tavern. about how Thea and her friends killed 100 wolves.
Oh, Silk and Mo, now I cut you, Mo.
I can hear it.
See, it just so happens. Three brave warriors was Terrence who came to. It all took all four of them to lift him, and they brought him before Lord What's-Name, and they put him on the gallows, and they were attacked by 100 wolves.
100.
100. That's how they told
In daylight in the middle.
Andy, there may have been wargs. It depends on which tavern you're in. I was in a great many that day.
This story sounds like a Shaggy Dog tale.
No, they were wolves.
Anyway, there were 100 wolves. Tursil before his mighty bow. The great and this skin and forth and make her bloody wrath upon them, and dozens more were slain, yet still they approached, and they took grievous wounds at the hand of the wolves, which were all healed by Father Darter Baerstun, who was a saint and a model to us all. And then came forth Thea the Wolf Slayer.
Go back to the part about Father Baerstun.
Father Baerstun, darn, he's my favorite. He found me.
What? What are you talking about?
Father Darter Baerstun?
Yes, he took me to the monastery when I was little.
Of the Temple of
Yes. He's
But he well.
Of course he's well. He's busy. He sent me and said,
Winona,
More than
Chris, is the voice breaking up for you guys too?
Yes.
"Oh,
I
What?
wanted to respond about my family.
shame, because I was doing such a bad job telling this story."
No, it's fun, but it was like cutting in and out a lot.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, but I
Okay.
haven't even gotten to the part where Thea Half-Elven stood at the base of the gallows, wolves to the left of her, wolves to the right of her, and swung forth her mighty axe, and did cleave them in twain, and sometimes in thrain.
Wow.
And she clove and clove. I don't think that's right. I think that's a cooking ingredient, but it's what they said. And she cleaved, and she hacked, and soon there were nothing but pelts.
Wow. Oh, Ed. Christy?
You're kind of a weird kid. You know that? No. I can say without having to use bluff. That's not true.
That's not what happened?
Nope.
I knew I should have asked Darg.
Well, that's disappointing.
It's not.
Why do you think I'm here?
I don't know. You keep following us.
You strange little man.
Darg sent me.
You are a tiny, strange little man.
Dromix seems interested in the story, but ultimately disappointed that it turns out to be a rumor. He says, "So, you've let him travel with you for days and days, and how did you come to be in the peninsula anyway?"
We walked really fast.
From where?
North?
So many questions.
Right? I'm pretty.
I've heard stories. I'm confident that this is the Bree and the Tursil and the Thea that I have heard of. And the small man's dead also are people that I have heard of. And yet here I find the sound of you, claiming to have been in 7 mills and also in Elkridge. And I have orders here.
Noah, cutting it in.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know where my microphone is to speak correctly.
Man, if we weren't trying to get through this, this would be the coolest.
Yeah.
It's not a microphone problem.
So while he's
No?
working on that, you think we have to kill this orc guy?
Is it a bandwidth issue?
Yes.
Oh.
And it just
Okay.
got very, very good momentarily, so
Oh.
feel free to communicate whatever you're
Was-
trying
Connecting
to.
your
Wait,
Wi-Fi. maybe.
Was there someone hogging a bunch of Wi-Fi? Okay.
I'll take this down and see if it gets better.
Yeah. Are we running anything on our machines that's using it up? Let me go check my machine, see if I'm running like a second G-chat instance.
I can.
I don't know if we're going to have to kill this orc, but we sure are telling him a lot about us, aren't we?
Well, that's what I was kind of worried about, because I don't know why Stoutsy won't shut up.
And a lot of it is
famous.
a lot of it is contradictory with stuff we've just said like moments ago.
Yeah.
Well, but also a lot of it is obviously untrue, which I think might actually be helpful, like his crazy wolf story.
I don't know what you mean.
And Octavia will peep up from the background
Nobody
again,
asked me
going,
for a
"I've never been to any of those places."
I've never been to Dordogon Mar.
May I?
Or to what?
Exactly.
He says, never mind, we'll let it rest. It is simply hard to credit what one hears in wartime, especially when it comes to figures as remarkable as yourselves.
Amen. People make
I
up
do
all
work out
kinds of
every day.
people make up all kinds of weird stuff.
I am quite remarkable.
I was going to remark upon
Nothing goes over my head.
My reflexes are too good.
I will catch it.
So what brings you to Hereford?
The road.
Guys.
I said I don't want to talk anymore, but we can't let him talk anymore. Somebody help.
Somebody feed him. He'll shut up if he has food.
Oh my god, give him all the food! Where's our basket of bread? Just right in front of him. Go nuts.
Ooh, bread! I love bread!
Excellent.
Bread will make you fat.
100 loaves!
And a fish.
Why
The,
are you so curious? Have we broken some law?
no, but it's my duty to understand what's going on around here. And you
Well,
said
right now, we're just stopping through and having a drink, which you so kindly offered to pay for. What more do you need to know?
I make it my business to know all of what goes on in where I'm responsible for keeping the peace. I hesitate to even mention it, but the 7 of you represent a concentration of military might that dwarfs the constabulary of the surrounding 8 towns.
We don't have any.
Somehow threaten the
Surrounding 8 towns have dwarf constabulary?
What'd you say, Thea?
Have we threatened the peace in some way just by coming here?
Only you.
Then I'll be happy to move along before I answer any more questions.
It's always fun to be the chaos master, but in the meantime, somebody has to actually manage the role playing, and I am not up to it. Clearly, this is a huge problem. We have lost Dark and Lenora, the only people who were good at talking to other people.
I think Stassi's great at talking to other people, just not at making sense.
Oh, you must stop!
I have no problem talking to other people.
He says, "You have the look of a law-abiding citizen about you. Where do you hail from, tall sir?"
Of course they're going to get along great.
Is that me? Because I'm not actually that tall.
Yeah, but you're a Ladrin. Everyone sees that you're skinny and assumes that you're tall.
It's like that myth about,
I'm a warden of Baerstun prison here to keep an eye on things.
Well,
Doesn't need to worry about anything because it turns out we already have someone watching us.
oh, is this to do with the disturbance at Elkridge then?
It has something to do with Elkridge.
Oh.
How are those people from Elkridge?
What's that?
The people from Elkridge, when last I checked, they're well. The 1302nd was assigned there. I believe Lieutenant Deagol is still in touch with their people. If you wish me to convey your greetings to them, I can. I'm sure they'd be glad to hear that you're well.
Please. The 1302nd was...
Thank you.
You weren't there. They were nice. And the 1302nd was quite nice, too.
That's irrelevant to my mission.
This is, I'm,
She's the Terminator.
I'll be happy to pass along, whatever greetings you wish. If you want to write a note for them, I'll carry it, or send it with a messenger next time a wyvern lands here.
Yeah, it turns out writing notes is a terrible idea. Why?
I can't help notice that you're not the 7 who are spoken of at Elkridge. The rest of your companions, Darg and the lady, the tiefling, they're well?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, who wants to answer?
They're quite well. I think, they wander different ways, and I wanted to come out here, and so did Tercio, and we found some new friends.
I'm glad of it. Tell me, do you plan to be making your home in the peninsula for any period of time? I'm conducting a census for Silverhand. If you're planning on becoming residents, I could register you in whichever town you're planning to make your home.
Oh, I think we're just passing through,
no.
but...
I'm not doing any of that.
Let's see. Thea is already a citizen of the Caliphate. Bree is from another land as well. I don't think that anyone else is planning to change their citizenship, and eventually I will wind up off this plane entirely, so I wouldn't want to create work for you.
I'm professionally homeless.
Do you know how hard it is to send a change of address form from here to the Feywild?
In triplicate?
He says, oh, very well, just, I was just checking. He continues to pick at the food that Povar has brought to the table, and says, well, I'm happy to have you here as companions at the Black Squid. I don't know that I'll be here much longer. Duty carries me from town to town settling disputes. I suppose
I'll jump in and say, oh, does that mean you have a lead on who may have burned down the shed?
Well, I gathered it was just a natural fire. I didn't think there was anything suspicious about it.
Oh, it seems to me the townsfolk here are far too careful with their embers and their fire to have allowed a valuable building to burn completely to ash.
Well, when you put it like that, maybe I should stay a while. Investigate.
We'd be happy to investigate it for you. It is something of a trade of ours.
I don't think I could delegate that to you.
Really? Because it seems to me like your peacekeeping doesn't include suspicious fires.
No, it's just that, well, we're spread rather thin to keep the peace here. I'm sort of forced to take on many roles. When I joined the army, I didn't imagine I'd be police, a judge, a diplomat. Forgive me, I'm still learning how to do that last one.
So is she.
Amen.
He says, in any case, I'll be happy to, I think I will finish up and ask around about that fire. Thank you for calling it to my attention. But I imagine I'll be riding tomorrow morning with the sunrise.
Where's your next stop?
I haven't decided yet. Greenlaw is down the road, but I could also go back towards the coast. I've heard there's a problem with smugglers. So, I'll decide at sunup. I may get word from a wyvern in the meantime. In any case, it's nice to meet you all. I wish you safe travels. And please, please, stay out of trouble.
Of course.
Away from us.
Okay, so Silverhand's entire army is about to know that Bree, Terciel, and Thea are back on the continent. I have no idea where to go with this information.
Oh, hey, I know what we should ask him.
What
What's
should you
that?
ask him?
If we want to call on the Duke, how could we do so?
The Baron?
Baron, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
I'll run
if what
out first.
Tercio explained to me is right, you find a way for him to have children.
So can we ask that?
Yeah, absolutely. Who's asking? What's the question? He's on his way out.
I'll catch up with him. I'll
Yeah.
ask him. Yeah, you know, I'm quite impressed with what Baron Silverhand has put together out here. It may seem a little presumptuous, but if we wanted to call on the Baron and give him our compliments, how could we do so?
He laughs for a minute and looks nervous. Finally says, I don't imagine he takes many visitors. He is in the capital, or at least he was.
Where's the capital?
7 Mills.
Oh, okay.
But no, I don't. I don't imagine he's
Oh, he's a busy man, I'm sure.
staggeringly busy. Yes, he's terribly busy. You've hit right on it. Gone straight to the heart of the issue. I'm afraid he couldn't possibly.
Well,
He
our
says,
compliments nonetheless. You look like you're doing a good job here.
thank you. I'm trying my best. Like I said, I wasn't ever really cut out for this work.
Nobody ever is.
Bree, you're walking with him as he leaves, and he walks across the street briefly to the Screaming Lizard. Is the Screaming Lizard, right?
Uh-huh.
The made-up name?
It's written, but it's scrolled up past it, so I had to remember what the tavern was called. Yeah. He says, so yeah, he goes, he walks over to the Screaming Lizard for a few minutes, and you guys go back inside, and you are happily eating the rest of your lunch and your drinks. There's the matter of settling the bill. It's going to be.
He didn't pay for our drinks!
Oh, he did. He left a couple of silver hands on the table.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Hang on. I think I'm getting tech supported.
Did you put Word on my mom's computer?
Why would this be a problem?
I don't know. Maybe.
That sounds like not a good discussion to have while there's a stream of video being recorded.
That already might be.
Go to
more than just
join.me and have her go to join.me, and you can control her computer remotely, and then you can find out and do whatever you need to do. It'll be easier than working by phone. If you can both. Let me start it. Can I use your desktop for a moment?
No, because her firewall and your firewall aren't going to be set up for it.
Join.me won't. It goes right past the firewall because each person goes to a central point.
Yeah, except we're also using.
Oh, bandwidth for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
What is her problem?
She wants to type up a document,
Yeah.
and she does not appear to have Word. She doesn't appear to have Microsoft anything on her computer. And before she used WordPad, but now she can't find WordPad.
She's running Windows 7 on the new machine.
Okay.
So she can type word
Start
on the
menu,
start menu.
and type the word Word.
She did that.
Yeah.
It doesn't come up.
Okay, then I guess Word's not on the machine.
But the weird thing is WordPad doesn't come up either. And we know it's there because she just used it on Monday. And in fact, she can open the doc. She found the document that she typed up on Monday.
Okay, then tell her to open the document she typed up on Monday, delete everything, and save it as a different document, and then she can use that document as a new document.
Or right-click.
Does she know how to save it as another document?
Or she can go to File and New in WordPad.
See, I tried to get her to do that, but she says there's no, like, file thing.
Yeah.
Alt F.
No. I don't think she knows what's.
Okay. Yeah, your best bet is a remote support session of some kind, but
Okay. JR says it's entirely possible.
Or we could just get her a typewriter.
I thought it
Teach her how to use a computer.
But
We've tried to make it really simple.
At this point, that's why I'm voting typewriter.
they have absolutely fantastic classes at most libraries.
I know.
But she's not gonna go.
No. And she's going to do that thing where as soon as the person says a single word that she doesn't recognize, she completely shuts off.
Down.
It's like, well, that's way too technical. I don't understand anything.
And that cup holder doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. So you look at the WordPad window right now?
So. Sorry.
Okay.
Should we call it until next time?
No, I'm just I'm trying to get my head back in where we were. Back
We're
to
trying to
tavern.
set up. We
Back
were.
to the tavern,
Bree was-
eating, drinking, paying
Yeah,
bills.
eating,
Bree
drinking,
was
paying bills.
possibly saving this entire encounter by being nice to the orc guy for 2 minutes.
I was nice to the orc guy.
Oh my god. Really?
How was I not nice to him?
No, I'm not actually.
Yeah, how is that not nice?
Told them we were a band of vicious, bloodthirsty killers. Every wolf we saw.
It's all the talk of the taverns in Baerstun.
Yes.
There are a lot of stories, but the one I've heard, the one I believe.
Okay. So yeah, you guys remain at the tavern, the Black Squid Tavern,
We were a barbershop septet in Skokie, Illinois.
in Hereford, in the peninsula.
Rhymes with Tia. That starts the wait.
Okay, actually, that's a good place to start. So, ask Thea. Thea, I mean, I realize, like, orc, it's going to put everybody on guard, but what was that specific clannish back and forth about, you know, my family and your family and the Chainbreakers and the Half-Elven?
Is Half-Elven actually your clan name?
Or
Can
whatever.
you hear us? There we go.
Yes, because they always take human wives, and it's weird. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, half elven is the actual.
Oh.
Sure, but it's not the name of the clan. It's the name of my part of the clan. Does that make sense?
So what's the deal with the Chainbreakers that you have so much beef?
I don't think there's any specific beef with the Chainbreakers. I just think the Chainbreakers are known
Yeah. It's not.
Um,
You guys think it's something like between us specifically, as opposed to just sort of my people's reputation in general.
So, Thea, I think one piece of beef you might have with orcs would be that Bone White's army was almost certainly raiding caravans full of gemstones and money to support their slave rebellion. And your people would have been, your family would have been protecting those caravans.
Yeah.
It's possible that some of your family would have been hired as watchmen or guards to protect the mines. And in a slave revolt situation, they might have been killed or might have just been knocked out, or might have actually turned the tide. I don't know. But the orcs have been sort of fighting an uphill battle to get out from under the thumb of the Caliphate.
Yeah.
We found Birdhead.
Fantastic. I'm so
Documented.
glad it works. So yeah, I can understand why you guys might have maybe not specific beef between the two of you, but I can understand why Thea would immediately assume that he was not exactly a good dude. Plus, also don't forget that the Kingdom of Galena is at war with the orcs.
Did Thea dump the bucket of water on his head?
No.
Alright, I'm calling it a win.
Yeah, but Stasi told him basically everything about us.
Really not. He told an old story that he could really probably hear in any inn in the peninsula if he waits a week.
In the peninsula?
I'll be right back.
What?
What's that?
I'll be back.
And
Okay.
the wolf slaying incident is actually pretty old in terms of our storyline.
Oh yeah,
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of time for traders to have spread, that sort of tale, and for it to have grown.
true.
Also, you told it completely wrong, so.
Which, there's benefits to that.
Anything else you guys want to do in Hereford before going to sleep, getting a nap?
I like sleep.
Here be no dragons.
I mean,
care
obviously, we're going to have somebody on watch.
I will stand watch, my lord.
I'm okay, sure. Do you want to call me my lord?
What?
W hat?
You do not have a W hat in this kingdom. They speak Elvish, wearing W hats. Ow.
So, okay. So, Silverhand... I wish Dark and Lenora were here. So, Silverhand has actually been treating the conquered peninsula like, this is for real, like, we need a functioning government and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The barkeep did not, he seemed a little bit like,
Yeah.
I think he was more nervous that we
otherwise
would
not like,
Terrorized.
yeah.
Oh, there is one other thing to take care of before you guys go up to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to finish paying for your meals and drinks.
Oh, okay. How much is the total?
The totals. He sort of looks around, counts on his fingers, says, 3.5 silver ought to do it.
All right. Stasi tosses him 4 silver and says, "Thank you, sir."
For what kinds of silver? You're carrying
Are we
regular
using
silver.
No, we also have orcish silver that we got off the dude.
Zenya's holding the orcish silver. He'll take
Well, then
stock.
we say, Zenya, pay the man.
Xenia grumbles.
I do think.
Zenya, pay the man.
Oh, she'll pay the man all right.
Oh.
She's not that kind of adventurer. That's more.
Don't judge her by her chainmail bikini.
And the non-stop euphemisms that come out of her mouth.
Yes, don't judge her.
Don't judge her by her euphemism.
It's sort of like we don't judge you for being a complete tight ass.
No, we judge him for that.
We do. We're kind of judgy. You're pretty judgy. He takes the money from Xenia, looks it over and says, "Huh. All right. Thank you very much. Rooms for the night will be." He tots it up. He says, "How many rooms? We've got. I mean, I can clean out as many of the rooms upstairs as you'd like, or you can share."
I sleep anywhere. I don't care.
I think some degree of sharing is warranted. What is our breakdown at the moment?
Boy, girl.
Yeah.
Well, we've got
It's sort of
Thea and
ridiculous.
Octavia and Xenia and Bree.
Bree, Xenia. Who am I missing?
And then you've got Tercial, Thandrum, and Stasi.
For boys.
It's 4 and 3.
It's 4 and 3.
4 girls, 3 boys.
Do you have adjoining rooms? Do you have any rooms adjoining?
Well, all the rooms are next to another room.
And non-smoking, right? It's important to be non-smoking.
They're not on fire.
I could set them on fire.
The shed. Whoa!
My travel
The
guide said
shed
I'm
was a
supposed to
one-time
ask.
thing.
There's also some variation among how many people like need a bed and how many just need the floor and aren't going to sleep at all.
Yeah. He says, 4 rooms will sleep most of you comfortably. The beds are not large, but certainly
Even large bed.
stuffed with fresh straw anyway. The harvest just ended.
Okay. 4 rooms, all adjacent. Sound good?
Who's Jason?
I will inspect the bed to make sure that I will not injure it by laying
He's their
upon it.
god of bedding.
He
You
says,
pray to him to make sure you don't get bed bugs.
Is
The,
your
uh,
is your body temperature approaching that of like high enough to incinerate straw?
No, I'm just
But
a
her
6
weight
foot
is,
6 dragonborn
yeah, she's sort of like
in full armor. Well, I guess I wouldn't technically sleep in full armor.
she's sort of Joe Flacco sized.
See you well.
God, I really am Joe Flacco size.
That's goofy looking.
Yeah, you lost me at the whatever you were talking about thing.
Sports ball.
Got it.
All right, I'm back.
He says to Povar says to Banwar, Banwar, be so good to head down and talk to Julianne. Ask her to come up. I've got some rooms that need cleaning out. Tell her I'll pay the normal rate. Banwar says, right enough. I can clean a room. He's like, not half as well as Julianne. You're too good for cleaning rooms. You go fetch Julianne, and then you can hang out with your friends.
Butter.
Banwar runs off, and he says to you guys, I love him, but he is thick as a goat steak. Love the kid to death. Honest, charming, warm-hearted, full of nothing but love for every person he meets. God's honest truth, I wouldn't put him in charge of 2 blocks of iron if they were chained together.
Wow.
Every village has one.
I have seen some thick cuts of goat steak.
We have shepherds here in town who will cut it as trim, fine, or thick as you care to have it.
Excellent.
We don't usually slaughter the goats till spring, though.
Understand.
Plus, with all the Bulette steak hanging in
Why
the
would
larder. Why, indeed.
Inefficient.
Thinking.
We're going to need a bigger gravy boat. So Banwar comes back with Julianne. She's a young girl. Runs up, takes care of the rooms fairly quick while you guys talk about things. Meanwhile, Banwar manages to steer the topic of conversation around to Hereford and recent history of the town. And it comes about that his nickname, the Gold, is partially because of his blonde hair, but also because he was found in a basket in a nearby stream as an infant, wrapped in fine linen cloth with a gold coin tied to each foot.
This is like some Moses imagery.
And
Seriously.
there was a note in the basket that said, "Please take pity and raise him.
Please look after this bear.
Please
Thank
look
you.
after this boy." The whole village chipped in, and it turns out he's basically everybody's son. And the town has kept the 2 gold pieces in trust and has lent them out, charging interest to pretty much everyone in town, gotten the money back, and has,
That's adorable.
has
That's
built
part
up
of the bank.
and has built up basically Banwar's foot money is basically the town's
Emergency fund.
yeah, it's their slush fund, and they're pretty much all convinced that someday he's going to go off to seek his fortune, become an adventurer, and take the money with him to go buy armor and a sword and go become a famous adventurer. They're sure of it. Basically, they're all just waiting. Everything that happens to Banwar is taken as a sign that this could be the year.
Oh God, we made him think he can shoot. We're gonna get him killed.
What's the name of that barbarian from the Terry Pratchett books?
Cohen.
Kohan.
Kohan.
Yes.
Kohan the barbarian. Yeah.
Cohen, yeah.
Did we
Cohen the Barbarian.
Did we
Cohen.
just adopt Cohen the barbarian?
No, I mean he's a
It was a joke.
he's a decent kid. He's just got kind of a weird history, and in Hereford that counts for a lot because everyone else has the same history.
I was born in Hereford.
I was born in Hereford, except the Druids, the guys who live in the hills. But they're Druids. What are you gonna do?
Weirdos.
Yeah, shepherds, Druids, weirdos, locals. Plus, they buy stuff for their sheep and goats, and they barter stuff.
Like steaks.
They barter stuff they find out in the woods. It's a living. So, that's Hereford. You guys shack up, pass a fairly unremarkable 8 hours, and we can resume after your extended rest next week, I guess.
Yay!
The lovely little town of Hereford.
Yeah, Octavia will take the first watch. I don't know if anyone else wants to watch.
I'll take a watch.
We're in the boys' room.
I'll take a watch.
Bill's room.
I thought we put somebody in the hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since we're all adjacent. And it's 4 rooms, I mean. Isn't that a movie?
Ralston, I love that. He's typed in the chat, "I don't want to barter anything slaughtered or woven." Slaughter anything bartered or woven or processed. As a trade. I don't want to do that.
Well
Halfway through the
played.
night, Benoit shows up with a boombox. Take me with you.
Slay anything.
Oh my God, we have to write this.
Wait, are we recording it?
Yeah, we are.
But this is more spontaneous performance art. It's improv, if you will. A
Yeah.
stepping off point.
I'm going to stop the broadcast, but we can keep joshing around for as long as you guys care to.